What is going on, true believers and handsome, beautiful men and wonderful, beautiful ladies? I hope you're having a great morning as this market starts to recover from the tragic dumps that have been happening in the market, from everything bad that's been going on. It looks like maybe we've got a bounce. Is this the ultimate bounce? I don't know. I think there's some more down to be had. Was noticing how much liquidity is building up around 74,000. So I got a bad feeling that these market makers are about to attack some lower numbers. And the question is there enough down for people to see a generational opportunity for investment? And will they see that? And will they then react to it and kick off the bull run? So that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're waiting to see happen. And it's going to take a little bit of time to see whether or not we can hit that recovery mode. And if we do, then you're looking at, trillions of dollars that could be entering these ecosystems in very, very short order. But as of right now, we've just had a tiny bit of surge. And the U.S. market, it's like I always say, for the men who are U.S. investors, it's like liquidity is made out of semen because they are sucking it out every morning. So if that grossed you out, it's your problem. It's not my problem. You're the problem. I'm not the problem. Anyway, we were up $50 billion when I started getting ready for this show, and we're now dead even on the day. So again, the U.S. market, the Donald Trump army, stealing your money one more time. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys. So it is I'm not sure what's going on in the market, really. I think that we're in a little bit of a short-term recovery area. However, if you look at the chart structure, if you look at what has been happening, then you could see kind of some sideways action happening as we continue to dump down into it. Now, when you look at charts, you're not seeing like a bearish divergence like we saw before, which caused the downtrend. So you would think at this point you would be looking at a reversal when you have your RSI this low. And by the way, I'm going to show you the last time the RSI was this low and exactly what happened at that time. So and let's not forget that when we're doing this, when we're looking at these charts, sometimes what we're seeing doesn't really always break out that day or right away. So when I give you what I think is getting ready to happen, just know that anything could happen. Okay. And also when I show you, when we find that same occurrence, when I show you the RSI, when I show you all the data, and then I show you how high and how hot it ran, it would give you an opportunity to get an estimate on what's going to happen going forward. And, look, some of that's pie in the sky. Some of that's craziness from where we are right now. But we're going to do it. We're going to check it out. And I really think that if this is the breakout inflection sort of point, then it's going to get crazy. But again, these are market structures. And here's the funny thing about it right now, just to give you guys some clarity. You know that I've talked to you about Fibonacci a lot. I tell you that a Fibonacci break from 0 to 1 then breaks down to 0.5 to 0.618, maybe even to 0.786 before running back up to 0.236, then coming back down. I should have said from 1 to 0, but you know my point. And then after that, then you would be talking about a move back for a retest at 382. And then if it breaks out there, then you're going to bust through 236, go back up to the 100 or the 0, and then boom, you break out above that, right? So those are the things that you know have been for meme coins. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things have been playing out almost spot for most of these projects. Now, the problem with that is that not all structures are the same, and not everything that, you know, just because it says that and because the chart reads that way doesn't mean it's going to happen. You form a trend line for what you're seeing happen, and you're like, it's not going to break out or anything. Ooh, that's awesome. All right, Coins Chick just had a lot of fun. Nice. Anyway, so the market structures are not playing out the way that you want. And that's actually good for the market because it means that there's volatility. And when there's volatility, that means that there's people who are willing to get risk on. When they get risk on and when they start to put themselves into these situations, the next move is, generally speaking, we're going to get a good, significant, and strong bounce. But I'm going to show you all of that. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, because we're going to start off with, by the way, just so you guys know, I made a post yesterday on X. I'm not talking about politics on X anymore, because if you were to look at my feed, then, and I think a lot of people are experiencing that because it's very difficult, right? But you see right here, this is Skylar T. She is crypto, but immediately I get to Speaker Mike Johnson. I don't give a shit about Speaker Mike Johnson. I don't care what he has to say. I have no interest, but for some reason, that's all I get, right? So let me mute that. Then I've got Drainmaker, and this is wrestling. I watch wrestling, but I mean, like, I don't need to. So we're going to do that. We're just going to mute. So what I'm trying to do over the next bunch of days is just really refresh my feed so that I don't deal with, because I don't care. Like, I don't care what happens. All I care about is Fox News. We're going to mute that one too. But again, you know, go down here, and what I feel like is Elon Musk is just pushing and forcing you into the political discussion. Even though we're talking, you know, even though we say that Elon Musk is just letting freedom of speech reign, we also know, because we had multiple reports and evidence everywhere, that in the Super Bowl, not this year, but last year, in last year's Super Bowl, Elon Musk left the game because he noticed that Joe Biden wishing the teams in the NFL success got, you know, 10 times more views than Elon Musk. So Elon Musk went back to his engineers during the Super Bowl, yelling and firing some of them because Joe Biden had more engagement than he had. When I tell you he's a petulant, petty child, I mean it in every way possible. You don't do something like that unless you are that low rent scumbag that I keep saying that you are. Okay. And you look, you might like a million things that he does. Okay. I might like some of the things that he does. You know, I certainly would like to have, my next car is going to be a Tesla. I'm not opposed to Elon Musk. I just think the man's crazy. But look, a lot of interesting people throughout the years have been crazy, and I still bought stuff from them. So, but I don't like being forced into the political spectrum. I enjoy arguing with people in the political. I probably should have been an attorney, but you know, I just don't. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I'm cutting it all out. And when I see people talking about politics and stuff like that, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, I don't care what it is that you're doing. If you're not crypto related, shh. Lumios is asking a good question. Why do you want a Tesla? Well, I keep going through and I keep reviewing. I do want an electric vehicle. That's really what it comes down to. I want an electric vehicle. I don't feel like I have an obligation to society. I understand that it costs more in energy to make one currently than it does to make a gas powered vehicle. But that's the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life. And I'm not stupid. I might be dumb for a lot of things, but I'm not stupid. And ultimately, electrical vehicles or electric vehicles are probably going to be a lot more ubiquitous than they even are right now, because everybody's moving to electric. And when we achieve certain upgrades in battery storage, and there's some water batteries and stuff like that being developed right now that fundamentally will change the way that we do this. And all of a sudden, it will cost less energy to make electric vehicles than it would, or it would cost more in what they call fossil fuels. Then, right now it's expensive from a fossil fuel basis, but eventually it will be less. And I'm just going to be at the forefront of it. That's all. You know what I mean? That's all. So Rivian doesn't compare, even if Hangman Adam Page is driving around in a Rivian with horns on it, which is crazy. But, there's no other electric vehicle that I've been a fan of. I thought at one point, just recently, that I would get a Chevy Equinox EV, because I'd already bought a Chevy Equinox. And I thought, I'll just buy two of the same car, one newer, and give the other ones to my kids or something like that. I just thought I would do something like that. And then I'm like, why am I talking about this? Because every time I look up Chevy Equinox, like I'm not getting the same great reviews that you get from Tesla. And the question is, are they Tesla maxis or just people who like cars? And is it just the best electric car? It is the best electric car. So that's the one that I want to get. That's, I know it's a long reason, but that's why I want to get a Tesla. So again, I'm not worried. The environment's the environment. I'm one cog in a wheel. So I'm not doing it for, again, I understand it's a little bit more expensive, but I also understand it's the future, and, I want one. So that's why, to make a short. So let's get into what we're talking about here, and make sure, again, you hit that like button on the way in. So House Democrats to introduce a meme act to oppose Trump-like meme coins. House Democrats, led by Rep. Sam Liccardo, are set to introduce the Meme Act, which would oppose the creation of meme coins by politicians. Now, that is actually a great idea, okay? But it'll never pass, okay? But Sam Liccardo plans to introduce the Modern Emoluments and Malfeasance Enforcement Act. The Meme Act will prohibit top U.S. government officials from creating or promoting digital assets. By the way, just so you guys understand, what that is just basically an attack on Donald Trump, because they're just finding, look, House Democrats are finding new ways to try to outrage normies about the Trump meme coin or the Melania meme coin. It's performative. They're not here to protect you. They're here to gin up votes. They don't care about honesty, integrity, those kind of things. Like, they're all on the take. We should know that at this point. They're all on the take. And the article even prefaces this by saying, and you can't even make this up, Donald Trump's meme coin has tanked in value, currently trading at around $12. Now, wait, let's just take a moment here to see how disingenuous and scummy this whole thing is, right? Donald Trump's meme coin has tanked in value, okay? Now, is it true that it's trading at around $12? Yes. But what is also true is that it launched at $500 million, and it's currently trading at $2.55 billion. So it's up 5x from its launch price. It's sitting with $21 million in liquidity. And we've got these crybabies out here saying they bought the top. Okay, that's really what it came down to. The people here who bought the top up here are the ones that are crying about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it is wild. It is wild that Democrats didn't tell you. That's what they didn't say. They didn't say, hey, if you bought it at the beginning, congratulations on being up 5x. They said, hey, if you bought it at $75 and it's down to $12 right now, you might be entitled to compensation. Or just ridiculous stuff. Look, I understand what's going on. Democrats are not smart, and they're attacking the people who they think attack the not smarts. Okay. They're the people who are supporting them and they're voting for them. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But look, this is the United States. Like, these people, the reason that you're not in power, if you're a Democrat, the reason you're not in power is because you do stupid stuff like this, because you pander to the minor pieces, right? You're out here pandering to, if you pander to a trans population, personally, I don't have a problem. You want me to call, I don't care what you want me to call you. I'll call you that, as long as you tell me that's what you want to be called. Like, if I see that you've got a D and you want me to believe it's a P and you want me to call you Chicky Magoo, I'll call you that. I don't care, but you got to tell me in advance, right? So I don't care. But they spend a lot of time pandering to less than 1% of the population. They spend a lot of time pandering to these tiny pockets of people and trying to give them inordinate amounts of influence and power, because they think that that's somehow winning them elections. And now we're seeing that it doesn't. None of that works. Or at least if it worked, it was just a little pump before a dump. You know, basically the Democrats, oh my God, just ran a pump and dump scheme on votes. So by pandering to everybody, and now nobody trusts them or respects them. You know what I mean? So, haha. But anyway, so they're putting out a bill, and this ridiculous bill, the Meme Act, according to ABC News, Sam Liccardo will introduce the Meme Act to prohibit the top U.S. government officials and their families from creating and capitalize on personal meme coins. Specifically, the bill would prohibit the president, vice president, Congress members, senior executive branch officials, their spouses, and dependent children from issuing, sponsoring, or endorsing a security, commodity, or digital asset. This proposed bill directly opposes political meme coins like Trump and Melania, which, by the way, let me point out something. These disgusting little cucks here, what they didn't do, and make sure you hit that like button on the way in, by the way. What they didn't do, they had no problem. They had no problem with Nancy Pelosi making tons of money from investments and just accidentally buying and selling NVIDIA when reports were coming out from Congress, just accidentally. They have no problem with all of these different, Dan Crenshaw, we like him. We like the one eye that he's still got, right? Dan Crenshaw, he's profiting. He says, well, I got less than $200,000 in the stock market. And they investigated. He has $5 million in the stock market. He lied. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely wild that, they had no problem with it. Nobody said anything about it. These Democrats, they didn't give a shit when they were making money off of it. But now that the other party is in charge, and now that they're making money off of something just like that, now they have a problem. So don't vote yes for that. That's, by the way, I don't want you to get scammed. So if, by the way, Trump launches a second meme coin, or Trump Jr. or something, any of that, they launch any of that, don't buy it. I would tell you, don't buy it, but also don't stop them from buying it. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Drives me nuts. Anyway, the congressman believes such a move from the government officials is wrong. He stated that the public offices belong to the public, not the office holders. Okay. And as such individuals should not leverage their political authority for financial gain. Okay. You're telling me, you know what? Add in stock trading to it. Okay. Shut up and add stock trading. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there you go. That's all you have to do. Add stock trading in. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Although still one of the top meme coins, the official Trump coin has tanked in value. It's currently trading at around $12, down 80% from its all-time high. That's the way they gauge it. That's why they're stupid. And by the way, I'm not just talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about some of these websites that talk about this shit. They're the ones that are doing this, because they're saying it's down 80% from its all-time high. Yeah, I say it's up 5x from its launch price. Who's more right? Right? I'm not crying about it. I didn't get in at the beginning. And by the way, I'm down. I bought at like $27 and it's at $12. But I also know that it's probably going to $500 and it'll probably be the first meme coin to go to 100 billion market cap. I'm not really worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So protecting the donkeys from the Lions is stupid. It's just stupid. DOJ allegedly opens probe into another political meme coin, and it looks like they have gone into the Libra token. That's the one that Javier Milei is doing. And Maddie B, it not go to 500. That's silly, Maddie B. That's silly. There is a meme coin out here that will go to 100 billion market cap. Okay, there is a meme coin that will go to 100 billion market cap. And by the way, Maddie B is the type of person that bought the top of SHIB and then sold the bottom. Okay, because SHIB, before it exploded and became Shiba Inu, Dogecoin before it became Dogecoin, they all went through huge dips because that's just the way it works. And when you're in a bear market, when all of this stuff is happening and you're not really experiencing that altcoin season, that altcoin surge, it's easy for you to say, it'll never happen. No, it will happen. We will get a meme coin to 100 billion market cap. Odds would probably be on Dogecoin, but I'm going to say the Trump coin is going to absolutely take off and go bonkers when the time is right. And it will suck the liquidity out of other tokens, but it will go to 100 billion market cap. It will be the first one. It'll beat Doge. It won't stay there. Like, again, it'll just be 100 billion all-time high. It'll come back down to 20 billion market cap for the next bull run. It'll come down to 10 billion market cap. It'll come down to 2 billion market cap again. Who the hell knows? But it will pump super hard going into this next market because more money, more capital is going to flow in here. We're talking about a market right now that's lower than the top of the previous market. And this is what people don't understand. And this is why some of you are just not going to fucking make it. You're not going to make it at all. Because when you zoom out right here and you look at what's the previous top of the market, the previous top of the market was 3 trillion market cap. At 3 trillion market cap, Bitcoin's price over here was 68,000, right? Today, Bitcoin is at 85,000. And the market cap right now is just under the all-time high. Right. But Bitcoin is somehow $20,000 in value higher. The money is just going into Bitcoin as opposed to coming into altcoins as of right now. And it's going to get worse. Bitcoin is going to surge one more time and it's going to do the same thing. And then from there, that's where we're going to get that breakout. And then we're going to go back up to this 3.73 trillion. We're going to go back up to this. We're going to start ripping our way up here. Ultimately 7 trillion market cap is where I predicted this market to go, right? So that means that about $4 trillion has yet to enter this market. And out of $4 trillion, if 1 trillion goes into DeFi, then your lives are forever changed. That's all. That's all it takes. Okay. That is all it takes. So it is going to happen. And so anyway, this is not going to happen. The other thing, Donald Trump clarifies start date for tariffs on Mexico and Canada, Bitcoin to 80,000, right? 12 trillion just too much, I think. I think that's too much. I would love to see more, but I don't know that economic circumstances are going to even allow for 7 trillion right now. Longer term, sure. But right now we're in this weird sort of space. And look, you got to be honest. You got to be honest. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are breaking some expensive eggs right now in order to complete their agenda. They are screwing you over temporarily with tariffs and moves that are really not designed to pump your markets, but to set your markets up for longer term growth, less government intrusion, more opportunity for the individual, and less opportunity for government control. That's what they're doing right now. So it's going to hurt. It's going to suck for a little while, in my opinion. And by the way, I do think that one person that I have zero respect for because they just are almost never right is a guy named Benjamin Cowan. This guy right here, Into the Cryptoverse. As you can see here, I don't follow the guy, but I did see something pop up not too long ago on his chart here, or in something that he said. It's February 26th, There we go, right here. When Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, there was some short-term pain through 1982 as they got inflation under control. Then it led to an economic expansion that lasted for decades. This right here is the S&P. It went down deep right here as we entered this sort of recessionary period from the top when he got elected all the way down into 1982. We just got tanked, right? And then boom, finally we got this economic breakout. Then we had the war. This was by the way, this was the Iraq war. And then just immediately rips again. That's Operation Desert Shield. As we decided, oh yeah, they got oil. I mean, they're bad people. And there you go. Like, we absolutely took off. So it is going to take some time to work out what is going on before we start seeing this breakout. So even though I don't like Benjamin Cowan and rarely ever think that he's right, and by the way, he's not, then, you know, and by the way, we're all the same way. Like, I dismiss when I'm wrong and pretend like it doesn't exist, just like everybody else. I'm not saying I'm better than them. I'm just honest about it. U.S. President Donald Trump has stated that the United States will move forward with tariffs imposed imported from Mexico and Canada unless measures are taken to curb drug trafficking, especially fentanyl. Because, you know, look, fentanyl is the drug of dum-dums. And, you know, in the South, fentanyl is a problem. You know, in the lower middle class community, fentanyl is a problem, the bigger problem than Democrats. So he also confirmed that China will face an additional 10% tariff starting on the same date. We cannot allow this scourge to continue. He then reiterated his stance on trade and national security. The reciprocal tariff on the European Union set for April 2nd remains unchanged. Now, what did he just say? Reciprocal tariff. So European Union is going to have the same tariffs that they impose on us on them. This is basically a trade war. And the question is whether or not we can win that trade war. Now, here's the idea ultimately. If you hear people saying, well, that means the price of everything is going to go up. That's because they are not global elitists or anything like that. They trust the party that's doing this shit, that put us in this situation. They trust the Clinton administration, who gave us NAFTA. They trust these sort of situations and say, we don't want to make paper clips here. Paper clips should be made by poors. We shouldn't be making clothing like the clothing that we wear should be made by the poors, and those poors should be overseas. And you know, this was just some snobbery. We don't make things in America, and what we're trying to do is make things in America to become self-sufficient. We found out during COVID we were not self-sufficient. So if we're trying to make ourselves even more self-sufficient, then you put tariffs on other products, not because you want people to pay more, but you want them to buy American. And if they buy American and it costs a little bit more, you know, hopefully we can do things to bring prices down, but that's another step in this journey. The first step in this journey is to make it more obstructive to buy foreign goods. Tesla is an American car, buy American. Chevrolet, Ford, American cars. Hyundai, if it's made in America, is still a foreign car. It's made by a Korean company that just created an office here in the USA to bypass tariffs. Same thing with Nissan, same thing with Toyota. And of course, they made jobs. They created jobs. So I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to say that they didn't and they don't have value. And Maddie B says NAFTA put too many family businesses out. NAFTA was only a small piece of what put people out of business. Mergers and acquisitions and people buying up every store and being able to use people like Walmart, those are the villains. And the fact that people don't see that and don't understand that on a daily basis is appalling. But it also is a testament to how dumb we are and how crazy it is that our society uses ads to do this kind of stuff. And I don't know what your family business is, Maddie B, so I can't comment on that. There are going to be family businesses that go out of business because you can get better trade from importing goods. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. We did ship jobs overseas, right? But we were more expensive than buying it overseas, and we wanted cheaper stuff. That was it. We wanted cheaper stuff. So now we're trying to claw that back. It will take some time to fix, okay? It's going to take some time to fix, right? And by the way, I don't think NAFTA I think NAFTA was only a piece of what ruined it. Remember, we also started importing massive amounts from Taiwan, from China, from all those different, flip over everything in your house and see where it was made. You know what I mean? There's so much more to this than just NAFTA. But yeah, NAFTA was not great ultimately. It was good for a society that was going up like this. It's not great for a society that's coming down or, having to buy a dip, if you will. So we'll see how this all plays out. But again, there's going to be some change. There's going to be some change. There's going to be some pain. There's going to be some problems. And, by the end of this, hopefully we are a better nation for it. Will we be a better nation is the question. I don't really know the answer to that. I don't really know the answer to that. But I know that if I were to break down what we're doing right now, this is the path. It is the path to challenge other countries, to make it prohibitive for you to buy stuff so that you have to buy American. And by the way, Donald Trump he's not a complete idiot, okay? He's just a rich guy that's scamming you, okay? And by the way, despite that I voted for him, that's my opinion. But I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. And whether he knows or not whether it's the right thing, we have to accept that that's what we're doing. So we have to make the best out of it, or we can just argue and fight and cry and bitch. I mean, that's possible too. But crypto is ready for another. And by the way, Donald Trump and what Donald Trump is doing, that ain't shit. That's not what this market is about. What this market will run on is this right here. One word, China. If China approves crypto, then that's when we're going to actually see the bull run that we really want to see. That's where we're going to see it. Seeing it from tariffs and stuff like that, this is all distraction. This is all distraction from the game. When the game changes and China approves crypto, no matter how it looks, when China opens up their doors, and they will open up their doors, they can't afford not to at some point. When China opens their doors, it is on like Donkey Kong, as they say in, I don't know what circles they say that, but it sounded like something when I was a kid. So we will have that moment. All right. Now, one more thing before we get going. Pi Network. We got to talk about Pi because, Jesus, this thing has just been in an explosive zone here for the last little while. Like it's really, really, really ripped. Now, what is going on with Pi? Well, Pi Network breaks new ground as Florida businesses have started to accept the Pi coin. Now, I want to say this. I don't know if this is a promotional video, okay? We're going to find that out in a minute here. But in a post on X, Pi Network revealed that Zito Realty in Florida now accepts Pi coin for real estate transactions. The real estate firm, led by film producer and actor James J. Zito, has become a pioneer in integrating Pi coin into the property market. So here's what I'm going to say. James Zito, this actor right here, is probably the majority investor or somebody who bought Pi coin cheaply in the beginning. So I think this is just going to be an ad, but this marks Pi's second cryptocurrency after Bitcoin, accepted for real estate transactions by Zito Realty. An early Pi mining adopter has strongly advocated for expanding digital. So that's what this is, really. So I think this is let's go down to the bottom here and see it. Commit to unbiased, however, readers are advised to verify facts independently. This looks like an ad to me. Okay, I don't know how they are required or mandated to do that, but this is. But here's the thing. Pi having just an incredible breakout right now. The integration of Pi coin in both real estate and automotive industries also reflects its increasing utility. Companies like Tesla have previously experimented with digital currency transactions, and Pi coin's acceptance by Cube Motors marks another step towards broader adoption. Now, it sounds to me also like Cube Motor is also mining Pi coin as well. So, Cube Motor, a Florida-based car dealership. Okay, so let's do this. Cube. Let's see what it looks like. You know what? Let's do this. Cube Motor, Florida. All right, this is Cube Motors. Oh my God. Guys, let me tell you something, okay? When you fact check shit, it gets, when you fact check stuff, it gets real interesting, okay? So I just want you to know that Cube Motors here, this Cube Motors in Florida, they've adopted Picoin, okay? Now, you might be mad at me for laughing because I'm saying that right now, and I can't say it with a straight face because, yeah, I want my Picoin next to the beware of dog sign, the rot. Oh my God, the chain link, the chain link corroded fence, the just dead looking. Serious? Are we serious now? Anyway, I don't think Picoin is doing any justice here in this regard. I think people are just trying to figure out a way to whatever it is they're doing. Okay, Bybit's CEO has labeled it as a scam, questioning its legitimacy and costing against speculative hype. Many criminals use Pi to claim that they can mine for free by simply downloading an app on their mobile phone. Binance has also faced backlash over a potential Picoin listing despite 85% vote support, concerns center around regulatory clarity and real-world adoption. So there are some questions about this, but Pi Network's speed offers a competitive advantage. So if it's a fast network and we can figure out that it's not a scam, then, let's go. At this point, by the way, I have not dug in because I'm not really interested in digging into Picoin. Because I didn't get in at the beginning. I've missed the pump. So why would I be, why would I be throwing down on something that it's just probably going to go down, right? Like if you look at the pump, by the way, this can't sustain. Okay. This cannot sustain. What we got is we got a break, then we got a dump, then we got a breakout to, as a matter of fact, let's go here to here and look at this. Okay. We got the pump. We got the dump to the 786. We got a 382 pump. Then we got a move while the market was still being, difficult. And then we got another big pump yesterday back up to the top of the range. And if it breaks out, fine. But more likely, we're about to see this happen. And you guys should know at this point that that's most likely what's going to happen. Okay. By the way, I don't know where you are. I don't know how you bought in. I don't know if you got in at 4 cents on launch, but I swear to God, if you did, Jesus Christ, get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, don't get wrecked on this shit here. And look, here's the other part, right? Right now, that is not a bearish divergence. That is new buyers stepping in at this point. So, I maybe it ends up working out. Maybe. However, we had right here, we had I don't want to call that. I mean, we had a big bearish divergence. That's a bullish divergence actually right there. And then right here to right here is still bullish. I mean, we had a bear div right there and it didn't correct. So this makes me real nervous. And I'm telling you right now, it is my opinion that as soon as people start pulling up Cube Motors in Florida and this real estate company, that we are on our way back down into some zone. I'm just going to make a guess on that. Matter of fact, let's just put this on the chart right here. And let's see if I'm right or wrong. Okay. We're going to be testing at 786 again pretty soon at 65 cents. I don't know what you bought. I don't know if you bought. I don't know any of that. If you made a bunch of money off of that, take your money. Don't get caught up and don't get lost in the haze of maybe it'll go to 100 million billion trillion or something like that. Don't get caught in that. I'm imploring you. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that you've seen this play out time and time again. Now, let's look at the rest of the market. Pi is up 9% in 24 hours. Tau down 7%, IP down 15%. We've got a little bit of good stuff happening over here, and we're starting to see a little bit of recovery, by the way, of Solana and that ecosystem. So we've got Jupiter up a few percentage points here. Where is Radium? Because Radium took a big hit. Radium's still down 1.7%. Remember, Radium took a big hit because Pump.Fun is now... Well, and Selmo says same investors that sold are now buying back in the rinse and wash strategy. And that is, and maybe that's true, But if they were buying more and they were, if they sold out their bags and they're just buying in, that's fine. But if they're still holding and they're still buying, that would have been a bearish divergence. So we'll see. This might be good. But they're going to trap some people in there, and I don't like that. Anyway, so radium down again. We're not seeing the actual recovery, I suppose. And by the way, bonk, I think something like that, when we see bonk start to break out again, if it ever does, then that might be one of those indicators. Stacks is moving fast. Why is Stacks moving fast? Because Bitcoin seems to be moving pretty well. Bitcoin is up 2% on the day, which is a pretty big number. Anytime Bitcoin moves, Stacks moves. Why? Because Stacks is the contract. This allows smart contracts on the Bitcoin ecosystem. So I think this is a very valuable project and will probably be one of those long term. I think Stacks is probably going to be a really, really big one. Because it integrates into Bitcoin and allows for smart contract creation, which creates an ecosystem for Bitcoin. Problem is the Bitcoin network is very, very slow. So it would probably, I think in some way, like we'd have to integrate this with Lightning Network once Lightning is upgraded. But that's a little bit, that's a little bit much. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, we're getting a little bit of movement in the market. We're starting to see some positivity. Question is, will it play out? We've got Grass pumping 17%, Popcat 10%, ATH up 9%, Safe up 20.8%, GLM up 12%, Rune down 12.6%. Rune is still paused, by the way. I don't know when they're going back live. But I mean, really, in all honesty, it's down 35% in a month and 76% for this year. It was at $10 up here, and it paused. Remember, it paused for 60 days. This is probably an incredible buy opportunity. Like, this is probably just a really, really good spot in order to buy. If it's trading at $1.15 or whatever right now, and it was $10 just recently, when it starts back up, it'll immediately go to, what is this level right here? Like right in this little range right here, $3. So, I mean, it's good for a 3X, I think, as soon as it relaunches. So, not telling you what to do, just telling you, I think. Vaughn is up 83% on the day. Shell up 22%. Act down 10. Carve up 38.1%. By the way, at some point very, very soon, I'm sure that DevvE is going to be doing all of this. It annoys me, by the way, that it's not so far, but also, I knew going in that this thing was going to take some time before this announcement was done. And they've gone, they're not radio silent, but, they're not radio silent, but, I'm hoping, we'll see what happens. ZRC, Camino down 10%. Cookie up 23%. M87 down another 16.2%. Banana down another 14%. Pin up 9%. UDS up 9%. And I think this is where DevvE falls, actually. DevVE's down 5%. You know what I mean? So Vine up 20%. CLV up 32%. Daddy, oh my God, it's up 102%. Stonks is 25.2%. By the way, remember, Matty B just told us basically that these old coins like the Trump has already happened here. Daddy from Andrew, whatever his fucking name is, Andrew Tate, the Andrew Tate Daddy coin is up 102%. It's not going to be long before Trump is up 500% in a single day. It's not going to be that long before that happens. Stonks is the same way. Stonks is an older one that went way, way down, had a horrible market cap, and now it's pumping back up again. It's up 114% on the week. So, a lot going on. And again, not to get too fine into it, but DevvE is, to me, the next big breakout in the market. By the way, I did talk to somebody yesterday. Sui is the name. It's not Sui. And I started saying Sui the other day because everybody kept saying Sui. And I'm like, there's no way they name themselves after the sound that you make to attract a pig, because what is that saying about their investors? And nobody with a brain would do that, right? So it is Sui. I was right the first time. So going forward, we're going to be talking about Sui. Now, Sui is at a $10 billion market cap. I told you this yesterday, and I want to tell you again today. When you look at Sui, Sui is partnered with Franklin Templeton right here. Gummy, Netmarble, Bluefin, Gree, X Society. what happens when when DevvE starts scrolling across, what happens when DevvE starts scrolling across here with, we're partnered with NASDAQ, if it's NASDAQ, of course, but what else? Franklin Templeton, NASDAQ's way bigger than Franklin Templeton. I mean, guys, just step back from the ledge and you tell me, is Franklin Templeton bigger or is NASDAQ bigger? It would be my estimation that NASDAQ is the bigger one. And SWE right here, $8.8 billion market cap. And I'm not saying that this is a fair comparison at all, okay? I'm not saying it's a fair comparison, all right? But if I were to go to my favorite place to compare market caps, right? If I were to take DevvE, and I were to use SWE, price of DevvE, if it goes to where SWE is 138x from where we are right now, and that is a $100 DevvE coin price. So there you have it. I mean, there it is. And yeah, I'm still in the ecosystem. I'm still with DevvE. Nothing's changed. But yes, there is a new video coming. We're actually gonna be talking about some of this right now. I just haven't put it together yet. But again, just imagine what happens here if DevvE goes to SWE's market cap. Again, I think NASDAQ is bigger. So if it goes to 8 billion market cap, it would be $100 coin. Now, ultimately, what if it goes to Cardano? I think we did that yesterday and it was like $300 or something like that. What if it goes to Solana? What if it goes to some of these areas, right? Staking platforms, individual staking platforms is what I would recommend. I mean, go find, you really, if you're looking for staking, go look at your centralized exchanges. Anybody that you're staking with, you are giving up custody. So, you are about to give up custody of your crypto to a staking platform. So do your own research and figure out for yourself, just to give you an idea of what I'm saying, like my goal ultimately is for stuff like that. Like if you want to stake your DevvE, you can do that at DevvE.io. You can go there and you can do the staking. You can do the staking with for Luna Classic. You can do it through like your Kepler wallet, and you can use all the validators, whatever validators you want. Ethereum, you would stake 32 Ethereum to become a node person. You can actually stake your Ethereum with Coinbase at this point. There's a lot of things you can stake with Coinbase or Kraken or any of these other ones. They bundle it up as a contract though, and they put it out and they do it with staking platforms that are reputable. So just know that when you're doing that, you're giving your crypto from yourself to a centralized exchange, and then from a centralized exchange, they are giving it to a staking platform. They might own the staking platform, but it'll be a different LLC for their tax purposes or for their licensing purposes and stuff like that. So you decide for yourself what the best staking platform is for you. For us, though, this is a generational buy opportunity because the fear and greed index is down to a 10. I told you guys, I didn't think we were going to see this for a long time. And we didn't see it for a long time, by the way. I should say that. We didn't see anything this low for a long time. And it felt for a while like, man, we just are not going to come back down. And it is good to see that we came back down. We came back down to a level in which this is a 6 month, this is a 1 year. The last time, look at this, we've not been at this level in so long. But let's go with the lowest level that we were at. August 6th, we were at the lowest level, and that was a 17. So we're lower than we were then. We're lower, okay? Now, August 6th until the top, what did that move look like, right? That's the question. So let's go to the daily, and let's look at August the 6th. So August the 6th, by the way, is like right here, August 6th. There we go. August 6th is right here. All right. So August 5, August 6, right there. The overall market cap was 1.87 trillion. Okay. And that's this green candle right there. That little, what we call maybe a recovery candle. But this right here is where we were. And this is where we ended up. Now, let's take this and let's just say the same thing is going to happen for the next couple months. Where are we going to go? That gives me 5.34 trillion market cap. Okay. If we go to a 5.34 trillion market cap, it is guaranteed we will have an altcoin season. Why is it guaranteed that we will have an altcoin season? Because Bitcoin would run way too hot and way too fast. Let's look at what Bitcoin did from August 6th. Same time. We're going to do the same time frame. Whoops. We didn't mean that. August the 6th, though. So there's the 6th. And here is the top. Now, there was a double top, but we're going to go with the first top because it was a tie, if you will. Now we're going to move this up here and say that if this bounce was actually the start, if that was the actual start, where do we end up ultimately? And the answer to that, oh, look at that, 165,000. Do you know anybody who was telling you that Bitcoin was going to around 170,000 for the last 2 years? Do you know anybody who was telling you that? So guys, I do think that we are in the spot right now where the reversal is imminent. And let's talk about what that reversal looks like, because on August 6th, 7th, whatever the date was here, when this happened, let's go look at it honestly and see where we went. We went from this dip here from August 5th, right? That was the bottom, right? We're not dealing with the bottom. We're just dealing with the day after, all the way up to the top. That was, how big was that? That went from 1.69. That's 600 billion over a couple of days. Okay. That what we got right there was a 31% increase in the overall market cap over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God damn it. I could have just done this and been done with it. Right to there. 20 days. So in 20 days, we had $600 billion come into the market. Total two, by the way, total two, basically same thing, right? We had, how much did we have come in here? We had 700 billion coming back up to 900 billion. We had 200 billion, 32% in altcoins. Again, over the same, it looks like 20 days. And by the way, that caused a correction. That caused look, when you look at it from this context, you're saying, well, what's our impulse move? And our impulse move is from here to here. And guess what? You got a perfect Fibonacci replay. By the way, you got a perfect Fibonacci play. You got the top, came down to the 786. You bounced off of that. You bounced off of the 382. You bounced back down into the golden zone. And then boom, you were back up here at the breakout area. Now then it rejected and came back down to the 0.5, consolidated in like a huge box, and then it broke out. So same, guys, we'll see the same thing happening. It's just a question right now of, are we in a full recovery mode or are we not? So GDP growth is forecast at 2.3. It is 2.3. So yeah, and then durable goods month over month. So let's see what happened there, because that's a huge miss. Durable goods, mom. Monthly advance reports, no. Durable goods, what's the number here? Jobless claims rise as durable good data is mixed. While the government layoffs contributed to increases in unemployment, new filings for jobless benefits accounted for only 2,000 of the 22,000 overall increase. So 20,000 jobs were lost, but we're talking about the 2,000 government jobs. Think about that for a second. Again, this is why I say your Democratic Party right now is lost to you. And it doesn't mean they're bad, by the way. It just means that they're not focused on the right things. The overall increase, which was reported on a seasonal basis, might be subject to some seasonal factors like the President's Day holiday. In a non-seasonal, here we go, durable goods. The advanced durable goods order data showed mixed results in January, with upside surprises coming from the number of goods capital goods. Yet downside surprises from the number of shipments. Orders for capital goods, which is a proxy for private business equipment spending, rose at a robust 0.8. Shipments of the same goods fell by 0.3 in the month and received 2.2% on the 3-month moving annualized. By the way, in case you guys are wondering why that is, or is that a problem, the reason that that was happening, and I was actually watching it play out real time, the reason that that was happening, the shipments, is because when Trump threatened the tariffs, the delivery people stopped delivering for a little while and said, hey, unless the companies pay for the tariffs, we're not sending the items. So the US companies who were importing the goods then had to pay the tariffs. And by the way, that does mean that the tariffs, they don't affect China. China's not paying the tariff. US companies are paying the tariffs, but it's the US companies that are importing the goods, right? And we want to do business with those companies, but we want them to buy American goods, right? Does that make sense? That's really what it comes down to. They're just looking for them to buy American. So because of that slowdown, that's why it came down. So now the question is this all going to work? I don't know the answer to that. I think it will. I think ultimately it will, which is why I maintain that I'm bullish on it. But that gets me off topic, which was this right here. At some point right here, this thing DevvE is going to absolutely explode. You know what's also going to explode? And why am I not? You saw me do that, right? I am randomly unfollowing people constantly lately. Like I don't know what's really going on right there. But if you haven't already, you got to get yourself some CC coins, because guess what? Right now, is it generational buying opportunity? I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to have a good run. I think it's about to punch its way back up to the top of this chart right here and fulfill the chart structure. So I think we're headed up to this range right here. Still going to be a micro cap when that is done. And if we get a breakout and a break forward, we could end up at $1 million. And by the way, if you didn't, Tom Crown was out talking about CC coin. I think it was yesterday. So he was recognizing that during this market dip and during this market structure, it took off, right? And CC coin did not dip down to those scary sort of levels. It still maintains its structure. So hopefully that breakout goes back to the top of this range. And that, by the way, at this point, it's going to be about a 2x from where we are. Would be a significant move. And don't forget, by the way, that CC has also launched CCR. That's the reward coin that you get. You have to go to Radium and you have to work your way through it. And if you haven't already, I would suggest you get into their Telegram if you want information about it. Now, the other piece is to look at the flow in the market. There's $200 in outflow. That $200 in outflow, if you look at this right now, is probably from the last hour, just to be fair here. There's $78 that came out, mini micro buys. But that's the only reason that it's outflows, because otherwise, all we're looking for is the pump in the Solana price, because the Solana price is what's going to drag everything along with it. Yesterday, when we were talking about this, Solana was at 139. Today, still at 139. So when Solana actually breaks out, when we actually see a good breakout, 139.52, again, this is where we are in this range. I suspect that we're going to have a big run here after this. We might have a little consolidation. We could have a big move back up to this little wick right here. Like, that's what I would expect to see, by the way. If we get some bullish momentum, that right there, I think we'll be at 160 pretty quickly. And then if we don't reject off of it, if we don't reject there and we can continue to push through, then, right up into this range right here. And then we've got this little area right there to reject. And then through this little chop, we can bust out through. Again, I think this is all coming into play right now. So if that all breaks out, then CC coin goes absolutely parabolic and you're going to be part of it. The other one that'll go parabolic if that happens would be SWP. And this is the SWP Wolfpack. And oh my God. Now look, we're going to repost this. I have not watched it yet, but in case you didn't know, that is Russ. Okay. This is Russ Armand. And this is a comedy parody, just so you guys understand. SWP has been putting out parodies of everything that happened in Saitama leading up to this moment. That's April, by the way, I think. No, that's Shayna. There we go. But they're big fans of this thing. I absolutely love this community. So this is the Saitama big event. By the way, November 13, 2025, we're going to have a party in Vegas for SWP. If you want to sign up, go to their website and sign up your intent to go. But there's Henok, there's Jake out there, there's all these different people. They're using AI to do it. By the way, that the captain, that's Adam. If you missed it there, that's Jake. And there's there's the captain, Adam. So guys, look, they are having a lot of fun with this, and we're going to continue. There's going to be new videos coming out. But as you can see, like, guys, they are just absolutely, they're pulling out Wolfcaster. If you remember that was going to be that 1980s style retro game that was just like dog shit. But they were like, everybody's going to love it. It's going to be the greatest game in history, as they were selling out the back door. Like, it is absolutely hilarious. I'm going to watch this in a few minutes. I haven't watched it yet, but we're going to have an homage party in Vegas at the end of the year to celebrate this thing. And I hope, by the way, at that point that Solana has broken out, because if in fact Solana breaks out, then not only will CC Coin absolutely rip, but let's go back to this one. Remember, we were very, very bullish on SWP a couple days ago as it approached and went over 2 cents. And then what happened? Market conditions absolutely tanked. On the day, which is February 20th, on February 20th, Solana was in the $175 range, came all the way down to 130. There's a massive dump that we had over a couple days, right? So Solana's momentum just got clipped. And what do you know about crypto? Well, if you're pumping, then you won't. If you get clipped while you're pumping, then when the pump resumes for your pairing, then you should continue pumping along with it. That is, as long as you don't shake out investors, you don't do something wrong, you don't screw people over, you don't mess things up. And I think they've done a good job of not doing that. And by the way, come over here and look, low volume. I do want to say that low volume, we got to pick the volume up, but right here, only 1,260 in sells in 24 hours, but 1,700 in buys, which means that we should be higher today than we were yesterday in terms of price. But as you can see right here, if we are, it's not even, actually it's not, because we were at 11.96 yesterday. We're at 11.88 today, because the Solana price is still not recovered. So Solana price recovers, this resumes, and this goes crazy. And then if you just consider simple stupidity, which is what I'm going to use, from, top to top to top or something like that. If you just say, like, where are we going to go on that next little pump? And that's not going to be the one. That's going to be this one right here. And then we're going to do the pump up to the top right there. So if we break out and fulfill this little trend line, if we continue that, which should be the next move, right? That takes us up to 3 cents. So I think 3 cents is coming for the SWP very, very shortly. They've put in the work. Now it's time for this to flatten out and us to start looking at 10 cents, stuff like that. And by the way, that's a 10 million market cap. We go to 10 cents. That's about a 10x from where we are. Great move. Just a great move overall. And I think it would set this market alight in my estimation. All these people right here, trust me, they would be in profit well enough that they would start buying your meme coins too. They would start buying your dips if that were to happen. I think an easy 10x right here for Wolfpack. And by the way, what I do think ultimately, though, it was 20x. That's where I really kind of pegged it. I think 20 cents right there is going to be the move. So when this market resumes, and again, it could be resuming at any moment, could be. The durable goods, all of that. Look at the Dow Jones over here, just to put not put too fine a point, but Dow Jones up 310 points, which means that money will probably be coming into risk assets. Will it for sure? I don't know. I really can't say. but we're starting to get some positive momentum. The question is, will it sustain? If it sustains, then the rally is on. So that's it. Now, the other thing that I want to get into, and I have a new partner. I have two new partners that I want to announce. I'm going to announce Trobits, Trobits, just so you guys know. I'm not going to talk too much about it right now because I want to get some clarification on something because it is a huge burn initiative and it's going to be based on ad revenue. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to go to the website and use the website. And by the way, I'll show you what it looks like. This is the Trobits website. This is Luna Classic. This is how much they've been burning in Luna Classic. They've burned 4.1 million Luna Classic in the last month. And for SHIB, they burned 677,000 today, 4.7 million for the week. And for the month of February, 18 million SHIB. So this place is burning all of this stuff, and they're doing it based on ad revenue. So this Cardano ad, these ads that they're going to get from like Google or places like that, those are fantastic. But I need some more information from them before we do this publicly because I got some videos and some content creation coming out on it. So I would encourage you to check that out. And then I got another one, which is a meme coin. I'm not going to announce it first, but we're going to be covering it for a month. And you're going to be, if you like the Bogdanovs, you're going to love this coin. I promise you. So that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got to get out of here. This is not financial advice. I'm always right. Thank you. And we'll see you again very, very soon.